Once you're chiseled, if you stay in a deficit, you're gonna run into issues. If you're in a calorie deficit and your body's really lean, that's when you're gonna start to tap into muscle tissue. That's when your metabolism is gonna start to decline through adaptation mechanisms. Remember, we're wired for survival. If your body fat's super low and you're still in a deficit, at a certain point, you're gonna tap into muscle tissue. Once you finish that 4 to 6 month cut, you can't keep cutting. You gotta go to maintenance. You gotta go into a little surplus. So it's really important to state, you can't be in a deficit year round. If I was in a deficit year round, I wouldn't be maintaining my muscle size. I would get very, very small. After you're cutting, you're in a calorie deficit, what's happening? One of the really cool things that happen is you're actually improving nutrient partitioning. As you get leaner, and intermittent fasting improves this too, you improve insulin sensitivity. So you get better at handling and directing calories and carbs into muscle tissue. So getting leaner is gonna improve your body's response to eating carbs. So you can better utilize that for muscle tissue and filling up glycogen. So that's the first thing. As you get leaner, your body's primed to better handle any sort of excess calories, excess carbs. Now, the other thing to mention is that when you're training, lifting heavy, and your body's in that 400, 500 calorie deficit, your body's in somewhat of a catabolic state. So what does that mean? Your body fundamentally is in a state of breaking itself down. If you're in a deficit, even if you're just losing body fat, your body's still breaking down body fat and you're becoming smaller. So you're in a catabolic, fundamentally, overall, you're in a catabolic state. Now, it's a lot harder to gain muscle when you're in a catabolic state. So as soon as you shift into an anabolic state where your body has more energy coming in than it expends, the amount of strength and muscle gain you're experiencing is going to be far superior to that what you're cutting. And you're also going to get that rebound effect. So when you go from being in a catabolic state to going into an anabolic state, the results come really, really quickly. Now, the other reason why you're gonna notice you gain muscle really quickly after cutting is also because if you had a lot of muscle to begin with and you got really, really lean, at a certain point, you're gonna sacrifice some muscle size. So by simply increasing calories going into a bulk, you are gonna regain some muscle that you may have lost, that you may have sacrificed in order to get to a super low body fat. Now that you're training with the extra calories, your body can actually is better equipped to gain muscle size, and that's why you gain muscle so fast. Now, after 3 months of lean bulking, you're still gonna notice good results, but you're not gonna get that really fast anabolic rebound that you'll get from switching from cutting to lean bulking. You should continue that lean bulk for at least 6 months to really milk out a lot of muscle growth. And then at that point, if you feel like you're ready to cut, you can go into a cutting mode for 12 weeks, sharpen up, really, get rid of any sort of extra body fat you may have gained. And in 6 months on a lean bulk, if you do it correctly, what I teach is doing on average a 200 calorie surplus per day. If you do that correctly, you're looking at gaining 2 pounds a month. In 6 months, you're looking at 12 pounds. And maybe that first month, simply by increasing calories, you gain 4 pounds. You're looking at 14 pounds in 6 months. And, worst case scenario, if you gain 4 or 5 pounds of fat, and so you gain, 8 to 10 pounds of lean mass, 4 to 5 pounds of fat. Well, here's the thing. You can get rid of that in 1 to 2 months easily in a small deficit. And then you can go into a recomp, back to lean bulk. So really that's the game plan. As you cut, you want to finish that cut with a couple months of recomping, eating around maintenance, really locking in that new body fat you built, and then you shift into the lean bulk. And then, you might gain a few pounds, in that first month from eating more, but then you really normalize. And the really cool thing is if you do this correctly, what's going to happen is that you get really lean, right? You get really lean. And then what's going to happen is as you increase the calories, you go to recomp, now you go to lean bulk, you're going to start to regain any lost muscle plus some at a lower body fat than you were before the cut. The goal, again, this lean bulk I'm talking about, we're not trying to eat 500 calories over maintenance per day and gain 4 pounds a month. That would be bad. That would be really bad. In that case, you'd put on 25 pounds in 6 months and at least half of it would be fat. That's not what I'm recommending. Really what I'm recommending is putting on in 6 months for guys that aren't close to their maximum muscular potential, 12 pounds. Maybe if you're going a bit more aggressive, 15 pounds. And then you can kind of dial in the leanness, the recomp. And so your weight's not changing a ton, okay? Within a year, your weight may change by at most 15 pounds. So learn from it, apply it, put it to the test, and see what works and see what doesn't. Because in the end, that's how you learn and that's how you achieve your goals. It has to become internalized. You have to take action on it, and then you have to really see what worked and what didn't, and then keep moving forward, keep moving forward.